Mental health has become one of the most pressing concerns for families today, and homeschool families are not immune. While homeschooling often offers flexibility, closeness, and individualized learning, it can also come with stress, isolation, emotional overload, and pressure on both parents and children. Some parents ask, how can I help my child manage anxiety? How do I support emotional health without adding more curriculum? And how do I protect joy in learning? What research increasingly confirms is this: music and art are not extras. They are protective factors. Welcome to the Music in Our Homeschool podcast. I'm Gena Mayo, your host, and today we will be talking about how music and art in the homeschool help improve mental health. If you are a homeschooler looking for ways to easily and affordably include a quality music education in your homeschool, you've come to the right place. This is the Music in Our Homeschool podcast. I'm Gena Mayo, homeschooling mom of 8 and music teacher for over 30 years. Across psychology, neuroscience, public health, and education, studies show that regular engagement with music and visual art supports emotional regulation, reduces stress, strengthens resilience, and improves overall mental well-being for both children and adults. And here's the good news for homeschooling families. You already have the ideal environment for these benefits to flourish. Music has a direct impact on the brain and stress response. So let's start with what happens physiologically. Studies in music psychology and neuroscience show that engaging with music, which includes listening, singing, or playing music, activates parts of the brain involved in emotional regulation, memory, and reward. Music can lower cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and stimulate dopamine release, which supports feelings of calm, pleasure, and motivation. A large body of music therapy research demonstrates that music engagement significantly reduces anxiety and stress. It improves mood and emotional stability, and it supports coping mechanisms during periods of emotional difficulty. Maybe you've noticed this yourself. You're having a stressful moment, and you turn on some music, and you feel a sense of calm. A major meta-analysis published in Frontiers in Psychology and indexed through PubMed Central found that music therapy had statistically significant effects on reducing depression and anxiety symptoms, often outperforming non-creative interventions. Group music activities were especially effective due to the combination of emotional expression and social connection. You'll definitely want to check out my previous podcast episode on singing in groups and how important that is for our mental health. I'll be sure to link to that in the show notes. This is powerful for homeschoolers because music doesn't require verbal processing. This is important for kids who struggle to articulate their emotions. It works even during passive listening, and it can be woven into daily routines with no pressure. Simply put, music helps regulate our nervous system. Next, let's talk about art for emotional processing and self-expression. Visual art plays a different but equally important role in mental health. Art allows children to externalize thoughts and emotions that may feel confusing, overwhelming, or even unsafe to put into words. This is especially important for younger children, neurodivergent learners, children experiencing anxiety, grief, or emotional overload. According to the American Psychiatric Association, creative arts engagement supports emotional processing, self-regulation, and psychological flexibility. Their review of art-based mental health interventions highlights consistent reductions in anxiety and depressive symptoms among participants of all ages. Multiple systematic reviews, including large-scale analyses published in PubMed Central, show that drawing, painting, and craft-based activities improve mood. Repetitive hands-on art activities reduce stress and emotional dysregulation. And art supports a sense of control and autonomy, key factors of mental well-being. Importantly, these benefits were observed even when the art was not necessarily therapeutic in nature. The act of creating it was enough. This matters for a homeschooling setting because that means that art doesn't need to be graded, rushed, or judged. Freedom is part of what makes it mentally nourishing. Research on music education shows that learning rhythm, melody, and structure strengthens the brain's ability to manage emotions and impulses. Studies published in journals like Psychology of Music and Frontiers in Neuroscience link musical training to improved emotional self-control and resilience. Art supports similar outcomes, such as planning a project that builds foresight, making mistakes builds frustration tolerance, and completing artwork builds confidence and perseverance. In homeschool life, these skills matter daily to help kids stay calm during hard lessons or recover from mistakes or manage transitions and expectations. Music and art quietly strengthen the mental muscles that make everything else easier. And mental health is also closely tied to identity. Children who see themselves as capable creators, musicians, artists, thinkers, tend to show higher self-esteem and emotional resilience. Research from educational psychology consistently shows that arts participation improves self-confidence. Creative identity supports emotional well-being, and students involved in the arts report a greater life satisfaction. Music and art also provide low-pressure social connection, which research shows is critical for emotional well-being. Group music-making studies demonstrate that singing or playing together increases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Shared musical experiences foster empathy and emotional attunement, and collaborative creativity builds trust and belonging. One of the most compelling findings from public health research is that arts engagement acts as a protective factor across the lifespan. Large-scale reviews associated with the World Health Organization have concluded that arts participation supports mental health prevention, reduces risk of chronic stress, and improves quality of life over time. So here's the takeaway that I think homeschooling parents need to hear. You actually don't need a formal curriculum or advanced skills or perfectly planned lesson to implement some of the things we've talked about today, because consistent low-pressure engagement in music and art is really what matters. Listening counts, singing counts, simple arts and crafts projects count. 15 minutes a day can support emotional health in ways a worksheet never can. So I encourage you to head over to the accompanying blog post to this episode to find lots of ideas to easily and inexpensively incorporate music and art into your homeschool. Because music and art can nourish parts of the human experience that academics can never reach. Research confirms what many homeschool parents already know. When you include music and art in your homeschool, you're not adding one more thing. You're creating space for emotional health, connection, and lifelong well-being. And that may be one of the most important lessons your children will ever receive. So until next week, please keep pressing play, creating art, and including music in your homeschool.